Welcome to ProServe 2012 training videos. This is Set 1 Basic Tips Working in ProServe 2012. I'm going to click this link off the support page, which will take me to a section here that talks about some of the basic, tips when you're working within ProServe 2012. And I'm just going to try to go over some of these things with you in this video. Some places, for example, I'm going to go into customer file maintenance. Now at the bottom of the screen, the program's wanting me or waiting on me to filter, use the name to filter in a customer, to look for a particular customer, okay? Or if I want to, I can press the tab key, which takes me to the account number. Now, if you happen to know an account number, then it's real quick and easy to get to it, okay? If I press tab key again, it takes me to a phone number. And here I can search on a phone number if I'm trying to find a particular customer. So that's 3 different ways that you can locate a customer. And that's from customer file maintenance. Now let's go to customer file maintenance, except let's use the single, okay? This is a little bit different screen because it's really wanting me to just access, it's different in a way that it didn't load all the customers up like the other one did. If I was looking for a certain customer, I would then enter it, and I'd go ahead and press enter key here, and then now it's listed customers that starts with AD, okay? And so if I wanted one of them, I could go ahead and double click it to go ahead and enter into that customer account, to make modifications. I could drop here just like I did in the other program and actually enter. And I've pulled up that exact account number, Jimmy Adams, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and double click this guy and enter into that account. Now this particular program is already on edit, so I can just press enter key and it takes me right into edit mode. Now I can use on this screen, and unlike other screens, not all of them are like that, but on the customer file maintenance, I can use the tab key to move through, or I can actually use the enter key. So that's the enter key, enter key, enter key, tab key, tab key, tab key. So I can use either one to move around with my keyboard, or I can just take my mouse and go to wherever it is that I want to go. Okay. And if I make a change in this customer, let's say that I change their phone number to 78 or 8788. Once I've moved out of that or made a change, I get the apply button, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Once I apply, I've got to save all in order to truly save this customer back to my live database store. If I quit or if I select reselect, the program's saying, hey, well, you've made changes and you haven't updated yet, so are you sure you want to exit without saving? Okay. In this case, I'll just say no, and I'll go ahead and click Save All, which then I'm actually saving that customer's record back to my database. Let's pull up customer file again, but let's do the global. And let me show you why that's a factor, or how that works. I'm going to go into this guy and I'm going to edit him. I'm going to change his phone number to that. Then I'm going to apply. Well, I may go to another customer here, and I may go into him and change his phone number. Okay, and then I'll apply. Well, I haven't made any changes at all back to my live database, okay, because I have not selected Save All. So I haven't saved anything at all. All I've done was saved the changes that I made here in this session. That's all I've really done. So if I try to quit or refresh, then the program's saying, well, you've made changes, but you've not saved anything. So it's necessary for me to click Save All if I want those two changes I made to be applied to the databases back in my SQL Server databases. Okay. Now that's some basic concept of how you move around or how you edit records and how you apply records and how you must save all and things like that. Most every screen is going to have an add button. It's going to have a delete button. It's going to have a refresh button. You'll have a save all. If I make a change, I don't have a save all yet. I'd have to make a change somewhere in order to have a save all. Then I'll have a save all as long as I'm in here, but I can edit, modify, other customers and then just do one big save all at the end. Okay. Now that's the global part of the program, the global customer file maintenance. If I were in single, it's a bit different as we've seen before. I'm only editing this one customer. Okay, so once I apply, there's really no other customers I can edit. I've got to, if I'm done, I save all, and then it just comes back once I'm done, and I would reselect, and then it comes back and allows me to, enter another customer. And if I'm done, I just quit. Now let me show you another screen that's different, that acts different. For example, the warehouse screen. Now this screen, if you'll notice something, did you hear my computer go bling, bling? That's because I'm trying to press the enter key. And the enter key really doesn't function on this screen. It's the tab key that's going to move me through everything. So there are some screens that the enter key does not function as a enter key to enter through that field. It's the tab key that really moves you through everything. Okay? So if you're ever in a program, no matter what it is, and you're trying to do something, well, this is actually telling me, this is a good point. This is good too. I'm trying to add more fields here, but I can't because I've got white space there. So you have to clear out that white space in order to type in. And then again, I'd press tab key to move through. Okay? Now you're going to run into that a lot, and it's going to be a little bit aggravating sometimes, and I realize that. But all you have to do is just clear the white space, and then you can type away. But if you don't clear the white space, now this, if you don't clear the white space, you're just going to get bleep, 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 bleep. And so anytime you're getting that, that's what the problem is. You can't, there's no more space available even though it looks like it. It's because it's filled with what's called white space. Okay? I'm going to cancel all that out. I don't want to keep none of that. Now, everything is pulled down, and that pretty much is really the tips as far as the program is concerned. There's other places, for example, let's say I went into customer file maintenance again. To access a customer, I would double click this block over here to the left. If I double click it, it gets me in edit mode. And that's true throughout this system, in anything and everything you do. If I went into lookup tables, went to my departments, for example, I've double clicked that so that I can look at that category. In order to edit one of these guys, I can either highlight him and then click the edit button, okay, or I could just double click that block and get in edit mode. And that action right there is true. It is true throughout this system. Just about everywhere you go in this program, to access a record is double clicking right here. There's order entry, same thing. Customer file maintenance, even inventory files, same thing. Double click, I'm in edit mode. Okay. So that pretty much wraps up the basic tips. Another tip, well, let me show you this. Let's look at the open whip. Now, anytime you're in a program where there's data grids, you can click on these headers and it sorts in that with that header. And this is true throughout the system. Okay? No matter where you are, if you'll click, it's true, it'll sort in any one of those columns. Let's see if there's anything else. Quit. You can quit without saving. I mean, we've kind of looked at that. Now, another thing I want to show you is this right here. If I was in customer, well, let's say I was in work order. I was in the open whip. If I highlighted this guy and I dropped down and held my shift key, I've highlighted these records. At this point, if I use my keyboard, if I'll press the control key plus the C, I've actually just copied that into my clipboard. So if I were running a spreadsheet, for example, and let me just open up a new one, and if I then did a paste special and just come in as Unitext, it actually will paste what I just copied from ProFrame into a spreadsheet. And this is true throughout the system. Any data grid. If I wanted them all, I would just click this up here in the top left-hand corner, and I've got every record in that data grid. See? And I can use the Control C and Control V. So Control C copies, Control V will paste. But if you're working in a spreadsheet like I was doing, then you would just, kind of do what I just did there. But there's other videos on this, but I wanted to show you that. That's just a basic tip that's real nice and very convenient in the program. Let's see, the pull-down menus, use your mouse and keyboard to help selection. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you'll keep these basic tips or ideas, in mind, you'll be able to flow through the program with ease and catch on to it pretty quickly. Thanks for watching the video.